We are now leaving Mata. We will be exiting South Africa here at the border post as we go into Namibia, and today we will be heading to Arnhem Lodge, which is just on the eastern side of Marienthal. We are traveling along the Oub River for about 260 kilometers between Mata and Stampriet, where we will be turning left for another 31 kilometers and then turn into the Arnhem Lodge. It is a beautiful road, as you can see, and also there's lots of vegetation all along the riverside. As we're heading towards Arnhem Lodge, the clouds are gathering. So we're probably in for a little bit of cooler weather, but it's part of the package. Let's enjoy. There are 3 well-equipped campsites at Arnhem Lodge. We set up our camp quickly and then we went to the bar area in the main building where we had some coffee and we enjoyed the fireplace and the interior of the lodge. We left Arnhem Lodge this morning and we then travelled towards Marienthal, where we took the C19 in the direction of Maltehua, where we turned right on the C14 on our way to Solitaire. This area that we are driving now is going through the Naukluft Mountains. It's a lovely scenery area. The road is in a reasonable good condition. As we arrive in Solitaire, this short video gives you a brief overview of what can be seen here. Solitaire is always a hive of activity, with people coming and going, filling up petrol, urgent repairs to vehicle tires and so forth. And then of course it is well known for its famous apple tart. We arrived at Bushman's Desert Camp, which is about 40 kilometers north of Solitaire. We are standing here on a plateau looking to the eastern direction and now turning a bit more north. As you can see, our campsite below us here, and then to the western side we find the reception area with some chalets in the back, and more to the left side are the other 3 campsites, and the road also comes in from the plateau going down in the far distance into the sort of valley area. As a group, we are traveling towards the dunes for a rather interesting and informative tour. Now, Frans, our tour guide, explained and pointed out various interesting things about the dunes, the plants, insects, and other animals to us. And the sand dunes are covered with tracks of little insects.
White lily spider. Yeah, it's like I said, at night, if something coming in passing, coming quickly, catch it, go back again. If you come close, catch it, go back again. This is the nest here. You see, that is the trapdoor.
Is it the poisonous one as well?
No, this is harmless.
It's the front door.
See, this one is just only 120 centimeters deep.
After the tour, we returned to camp, and then I set up the bush trail camera at the water hole while the sun was setting. Now these are the images that I got from the mountain zebras and the jackal that came to visit during the night. Morning folks, this is our last morning here at Bushman's Desert Camp, and this time I want to do a little review about this place and especially the campsite. This is our X-Trail with which we take on the Bundus faithful. Now I want you to see, just look at this size of this site as I'm walking backwards. Okay, you've got this kitchenette. It's built here with a little afdakkie on this side with palm leaves on top, which gives you some shade for your trailer or your vehicle. And you can see how big this is. I mean, tour buses come here and they pitch like 15-20 tents, these small little tents here. And then again, just look at this fantastic northern view straight ahead, and you have a view from the east right around. You see the sunrise, and in the west with the reception area, that is where the sun sets in the western side. Now when they constructed this kitchen area, it's like a kitchen and a living area. You must look at the size of this. And then you've got this lovely tree here under which you can sit like with your chairs in the afternoon and so on. And you've got this braai facility here, and then on the side there's actually two toilets here. There's one on this side right here, then you've got the kitchen area, and you have another toilet here, and it's not male female, it's just two toilets for the same site, and this is one site. Now look at this size of this kitchen area here. I mean, listen, I've hardly come across anything this size. There's a zinc, there's a wash basin at the back, and here on the wall they've got a battery with a small little charger and a solar panel on the roof, and there are solar lights here in the kitchen and on both sides in the toilets, of course. Now the reason why they have constructed this kitchen with such high walls on the side here is because this solitary area is known, not always mentioned, but it is known for some serious winds at times. And the winds mainly blow either from the eastern side or from the western side. So being in this area, you are very much protected against the wind. So this is really cleverly constructed here. Besides the fact that you are facing north and you've got a beautiful view of the mountains there on the other side. Now the grass plains, if I can call it that you've seen throughout the videos, this is not natural for this area. They told us very clearly, some years they have like 1 or 2 millimeters of rain. If they get like 8 millimeters, they regard it as a lot of rain. Now the last season they got quite a lot. I can't remember exactly, but it was something like 160 or 168 millimeters. So they had a very good rain season, and the veld is in an immaculate condition. At the front of the reception area there's a water hole, and I will add some videos, maybe photos that I took there from there you can see right there where the water tanks are. That is a site number 1. There's another one with a big area like ours here, number 2. Number 3 is next door, just as big, and ours is the one here. Okay, so you've got the 4 sites, and at the far end there's like sort of luxury bungalows that they've built. But interestingly, during all the time, that's only 3 days that we've stayed here, no single person actually stayed in that chalet areas. Everybody came here, they were all camping. We had about 2 big groups coming here, and yesterday morning we went out that way up to the dunes far at the end there for a rather and highly recommended interesting tour. Really, if you must do that. If you come here, you've got to do that. It is fascinating. The information that is shared with you, things that are pointed out to you which the normal eye just won't see. Okay, anyway, we're going to hit the road probably shortly. We're going to make a turn at reception, still ask about 20 questions about things we want to revisit, just to find out about the area as well. Oh, the last thing, I mustn't forget to say this. They've got water here, and they've got a borehole 230 meters deep in the riverbed at the back there. The water is pure, it is clean. They have tested the water. You don't have to bring water here, you can actually come and fill up here. We drink it, we boil it, we use it as is from the tap. 100% safe. Okay, that's also a big plus point, because in this area clean water like that is very, very scarce. They are normally brackish or something like that. So this is really a big plus point for this place as well. Okay, see you on the road. Cheers. We left Desert Camp on our way to Weltevrede Guest Farm, which is about 75 kilometers away. However, we decided to do a little round trip, and first we will go up Spreetshoogte Pass to the top of the pass. I will be fast forwarding the video, else it is going to take too much time. Many people will stop at the top of the pass and take photos, as you have a beautiful view of the surrounding area. From here then we continued down the Remhoogte Pass on our way to Weltevrede Guest Farm. are 3 campsites at Weltevreden Farm, each with its own ablution facilities. Site number 1 and 2 are the best sites. On our way to Sesrim. Now this is the Elam dune at Sossusvlei, and we will attempt this one today. Only us and the dune. So let's go have some fun on the dune. Well, we're gonna approach this Elam dune and definitely climb it to the top. And from up there we will have a lovely view. And everybody's going down obviously to the actual Sossusvlei area and Dooievlei. And there's been like about nearly 80 cars gone through that way, so we are the only people on this side, so we have some peace and quiet climbing the dune all by ourselves. Lovely. Don't underestimate this Elam dune. It takes quite a bit of effort to get to the top of it. However, you are rewarded with a lovely view of the area. We left Elam Dune and travelled on the tar road for about 60 kilometers direction Sossusvlei. The last section of the road is very thick sand and we had to use 4x4 to get through there. We decided to stop over at Deadvlei, which was a rather interesting visit this time. It is roughly about a kilometer's walk from the parking area until you get to Deadvlei. It might be called Deadvlei, but people never stop to amaze me. This time we saw this rather interesting photo shoot taking place. On our way out of Sossusvlei through the very sandy 4x4 section, we had some fun watching this young oak in this Fortuner.
Ons kan hom volg.
En nou is my tyre baie mooi reg. Nou gaan ons maklik hier so ver.
Uitsap. Wag hy vir hom.
Weet nie.
Nee, dank.
Gaat hom hier reg uit hier. Nou moet net nie voor my aanry nie. My spoed breek hè. Ek bang is hy.
Oef, wat doen hy alles? Kyk, maar as jy nou wil iemand nog kyk, ons is nou al lank getroud, maar as jy nou nog net 'n girlfriend het en jy moet nou beïndruk. En jy weet nie eintlik wat nou hier aan.
Jy gaan net so all over the show. Jy sien sy wiele is nie
pap genoeg nie.
Dis hoekom ek baie makliker weer kom. Okay, this seems to be the entrance to the Sesrim Canyon. We're just walking down here. And we'll catch up at the bottom. And so we continue all the way down. Let's see what we have. And here we have reached the bottom of the canyon, so to speak. This is in a western direction towards the coast. And then we will... Okay, so yeah, just look at this side, the holes. Yeah. Yeah, this is impressive. It's a small canyon, but it's fine. This gives a general view of what the canyon looks like. There are, however, narrower sections. Now we're going in an easterly direction from the entry exit point. Much narrower here than at the bottom. Okay, this is quite nice. This is going to be the turning point because we are blocked by water. Lovely, huh? Just look at this. Impressive. Yeah. Amazing. Well, what comes down must go up. Exiting the canyon. Good afternoon. This is our last evening here at Weltevrede Guest Farm. I've got 4 camping sites here, and then I've got about 14 chalets. The chalets are not self-service. You will have to eat at the main residence at their sort of restaurant where they serve very nice food. Our campsite, as you can see here behind me, is number 1. And right next to us is number 2, and then in the distance on the western side is number 3 and 4. Number 1 and 2 is by far the better campsites here, especially number 1. As you can see, we are protected right around. This is the fireplace area. At the back there, we've got these big trees here. So there's a lot of shade here, which is very nice. It's well equipped. There's a fireplace, a zinc outside, and we are camped there. There's electricity here, 220 definitely, and there's a light here at the braai area. The toilet facilities, which is a shower and a toilet with a wash basin, is over there. And every campsite has its own unit. So number 1 and 2 is there, separate doors. Number 3 and 4 is at the distance there at the back. I will also recommend this campsite very highly. It's really very nicely laid out, especially number 1 and 2. Well protected from the wind in the environment. Lots of shade here, and there are various bird species here in the area. We hear them basically right through the day. Right at the back there is like a vegetable garden, of course, which the farmhouse use in cooking preparations and stuff. So there are lots of birds here, and there are water holes all around the site as well for wild animals and for the birds. They've got a wild parrot here. There are many of them, and there's at site number 2 next door. They sort of sleep in the tree there. And of course there's also various other bird species here. Very nice place to stay. It's very central between Sesrim and Solitaire. So it's nice from here to do a day trip to Sossusvlei, Deadvlei, the canyon there at Sesrim and the dunes, as well as going up to Solitaire. It's roughly about 40 kilometers either way. The main road, if you can call it that, is not in the best of condition, probably at best once they've scraped it. Some sections are rather rocky and so on, but we get by in any case. So tomorrow morning we'll pack up and we'll go in a southern direction past Sesrim. We'll fill up at the garage there, and then we go to a small little place called Beta, and very close to Beta is a place called At Kurunenhof Lodge. Now we've been there before, we just stayed there one night. That's really a lovely place to go and camp. So we'll probably see you on the road tomorrow, and yeah, we hope for a good night's rest. It's sort of cool, it's winter time, but it normally gets pretty hot sometimes during the day. But we've been having a lovely cool day here. It's a very light wind and sort of a cold wind blowing here, but it's really nice. You can see the veld is really in a very good condition. They had a very good rain season this year. Now yesterday on our trip to Vlei and says, well, it was rather an exciting day. Let me tell you, like I've said before, it's really about the experience. We saw a young couple who lost their cell phone in the red sand dune because he was going up the one way and running down the dune, and they had to go and search for the cell phone, and he was extremely lucky. He found it again. Then at Vlei, we saw this girl and two guys, and they were doing some kind of a video or photo shoot there. And this blonde girl here, I estimate her about 17, 18 years old, roughly there. She was wearing like a wedding dress in the full sun, and they were carrying on and carrying on. But I'll show you either before this video or after this. I'll probably show you some photos of that. It's quite entertaining to watch them carry on there. And then once we finished with visiting Vlei, on our return we sat there under the trees, and this couple came to us in dire need of water. Now we always carry a lot of water with us, so we had a 5 liter and we could help them, and we got engaged in a very interesting conversation about all sorts of things, where they come from, what they do. And you meet people, you know, when you do these things, you are exposed to all different cultures and people from around the world, for that matter. And if you're not here, you won't have this fun. You simply won't have this experience of interacting with people from various places in the world. So that's, again, like I've said so many times before, you've got to get out and go. Do these things. Do your round trips. Meet people and visit these places. We can have a lovely braai now, some eel and steak and sausage and so on. And tomorrow we'll eat the road from here. Cheers.
We arrived at Beta, where there is a shop, a restaurant and a garage for refueling. Kurunenhof Lodge is very close, roughly about 10 kilometers from Beta. Madam opens the third gate. morning, folks. It's early morning here at Koronenhof Lodge. Here's the reception area as we are packed and ready to go. We'll be heading to Keetmanshoop today, where we will be camping for 2 days at the Kobe Forest Camp, if I can call it that. And as you can see from here, there in the western distance, the beautiful view that you have here. And so we arrive at the small little town called Bethany. This is also where the tar road starts on our way to Keetmanshoop, which is another 140 kilometers from here. Morning to you all from the Kobe Tree Forest here at Keetmanshoop, Namibia. We've set up camp here for 2 nights. There's a lot of chirping going on in the background with the birds feeding. The camp is quite nice actually. A couple of sites they share a common ablution facility there in the background, as you can see, with a water tank. We've got power at all the sites. There is 2 separate toilets, and then 2 showers. Probably about 6 or 7 campsites share those facilities here. Mostly all of the sites have some sort of shady trees, so it's not too bad. At the background is the Kobe Tree Forest, where many people come here to come and take photos, especially early morning and with sunset in the afternoons. So we're just spending a day here, taking it easy, resting a little bit, as we are sleeping here 2 nights, and tomorrow we will be moving forth to a farm in the Karasburg area. Talk to you later in the day. So this is the entrance to the Giants Playground. Let's have a look and see what it's about. This is the Giants Playground, about 4 kilometers away from the Kobe Tree Forest here at Keetmanshoop. Quite a spectacular view with all these rocks scattered all over the area here. I suppose you can call it a rockery. Fascinating.
We left Keetmanshoop and drove about 75 kilometers on the B1 in a sudden direction towards Gruno, where we turned left onto a gravel road for about another 70 kilometers until we reached a friend's farm in the Vredeshoop area, where we stayed over for 2 nights.
It is 8 o'clock in the morning as the sun rises over the farmstead. We had an absolute beautiful, quiet night. Absolutely no noise pollution at all. Something that you miss in the city. I just had my first filter coffee and rusks. Shortly we will have a light breakfast, and then we'll probably go around on the farm roads, on the farm itself.
We explored the farm in a very old Land Cruiser and came across this river, which now has standing water, but it only flows during the rainy season. We were then also shown some Bushman paintings on the rock faces. Now there are no graffiti here, as they are very well protected from the general public, which are not allowed to access this farm.
Now you guys with your fancy Land Cruisers, what do you say about this model? Eh? Diesel 6-cylinder straight engine, and it's still going. We went yesterday with this bundu bashing here on the farm where there's no roads, basically over the rocks and dongas, climb up the mountain, 4x4, eh? High low, high gear, low gear. Amazing. It's still a workhorse, eh? Although it looks old. Well, it is old. Fantastic, eh? Just look at this. I mean, I suppose some of you would die to have this vehicle and give it a good renovation, but she's running, eh? Beautiful.
We left the peaceful farmhouse and are now on our way to Amanzi Trails, right at the border where we will be sleeping over for our last night before exiting Namibia to South Africa. We have basically come to the end of another scenic, interesting and most enjoyable holiday in Namibia and Kalahari. Hope to see you soon. Early morning, still a little bit dark, as we have just crossed the, went through the border crossing at Fjolsdrift, and so we're on our way to Cape Town. It's about, say, 700 kilometers down the road still. Now, on our way home, we always stop here just before Citrusdal at this fruit stall, and we buy naartjies and lemons and sweet potatoes and honey, etc. from this place. It's a must stop every time we do that.